Hello friends, this is Carmen. Welcome back to my channel. So glad you're here. If it's your first time here, welcome. My channel is all about succulents and cacti in a balcony garden and houseplants in an apartment setting. Today I have a special showing of one of my favorite collections, philodendrons. My collection isn't huge by any means, nor does it have very rare plants, but I love it anyway. So stay tuned and I will share with you all of my beautiful philodendrons. Let's start off here in my bedroom with this beautiful Philodendron Brazil. I have it hanging here in this east facing window in a 5-inch terracotta pot, and this plant, this vining plant, is just gorgeous. So easy to take care of. I actually have two of them, this one here in the bedroom and then one out in my living room, this one right here. This one's from cuttings, where the other one was from an actual 4-inch plant and that I got in the mail from Perrico Plants. But they are both in terracotta pots and east facing windows. I water them probably about once a week because they are in terracotta pots and they dry out a little bit quicker, but they also let me know if they're dry by the feel of their leaves. They feel thinner, weaker, they look limp, and that helps me to determine if they need watering. But so far this one has really been growing and giving off a lot of new growth, and it's right next door to its cousin, the Philodendron Silver Stripe. This one I happened to just stumble upon at a local nursery, and it was only $18 and I snatched it right up. I have taken some cuttings from it and propagated it, given it to my mother, but look at how much of this trail she's already given off. It's just incredible, the amount of growth in really 1 foot in about a month. About the same care as this one. This one's in a plastic pot, so she doesn't dry out as quickly, and she's more condensed in there, more of a plant. But I do water it about once a week. This one has a little bit different growth pattern in the sense that I find that the vines are very curly and more compact. They don't trail downward as smoothly as some of the other vining plants, but it's still a gorgeous plant with that creamy, soft coloring down the center. The shape of the leaf is different than the other philodendron vining plants. It's longer, almost sword-like, but it still has a heart shape to it. So it's a very unique plant. I really love it. I'm so glad that I found this one. Now this is probably the most common philodendron, the heart-shaped philodendron. It's a beautiful plant. It's so easy to take care of. I would definitely even recommend this as a plant for a beginner, and you will do well with it. Aptly named because of its heart-shaped leaves, and it can be a trailing plant. You can let it grow, or you can do as I did here for this plant and attached it to the macrame and let it grow up the macrame. And I find that their leaves tend to do better that way. They grow closer together. There's not so much space between the leaves, and they look a lot better, I think. But you know, that's just my choice. Now I have mine in a ceramic cup here that I drilled a hole in, and it's doing fine. This one does stay moist a little bit longer than the other ones because of the ceramic pot. Now out in my living room I have this lemon lime philodendron in this little ceramic pot, also that used to be a bowl from the Goodwill. Drilled a hole in it and put a plant in it. And this lemon lime philodendron has such brilliant color. It's almost varies depending upon the light that hits it. I have it about 7 or 8 feet back from an east-facing patio door, and it seems to do fine. This one can go a little bit closer to the window and probably do a little bit better. It's a slow grower anyway, but I like it in this little spot. It adds a really nice pop of color in this area, and it's giving off a little bit of growth there, so I'm not worried about it at all. It's doing wonderful and it seems really happy here. Now this is a Philodendron erubescens red emerald. I found this at my local nursery, and it is such a beautiful plant. The vining of it, the stems of it have this beautiful red coloring to it. They're just incredible. This is a little one. These two tend to grow up. They are vining and they will grow up as shown in the picture here. So very soon I will put a moss pole in here, but this guy is going to town with new leaves. Look at all of those new leaves getting ready to open up. And I've only fertilized it once really this growing season. I did plant it in some fresh soil with some worm castings in it, and that seemed to help also. But other than that, it's not a big feeder. It does take low light. I have it in an east-facing window. I could probably move it back a little bit more and it'll do fine. The darker green leaf varieties do well in a lower light situation. So I'm happy that I have that option with this one, and I can move it around to different parts of my home. Now on to another beauty with some brilliant color, Philodendron Prince of Orange, and it is a prince. This plant gives off such an incredible variety of color as the leaves open. They open a orange, almost even neon, then they turn to bronze, and then the green hues start coming in to the leaves. So it goes through a whole spectrum of color in just one leaf over the course of the life of that leaf. It's really an interesting process to watch. And this is a hybrid of philodendron. It's not going to get real big. It will grow at its tallest in a container about 2 feet. If you live in the right environment, you can grow it outside. Now Rosie seems to be more impressed with something else other than this plant, but this plant is a self-heading plant, meaning it will grow in one stalk. It's not vining. It's not a vining philodendron, so it'll grow in one stalk straight up about 2 feet in a container. And I didn't realize that they bloom also, but here's a picture of a bloom, and it's really actually pretty, so I have to keep an eye out for that. But I'm glad that this will not grow really big, so it gives me again more options in putting it in different areas. This here is a vining plant. It's the Philodendron Royal Queen, and I feel like I have a whole monarchy growing in my house here with these names and these philodendrons. But this one is really special to me because it was given to me by Cody from the Plant Channel as a cutting. I rooted it in some sphagnum moss, and it's doing great growing in this terracotta pot. Like I said, it is vining. It's given off a brand new leaf, and it will grow up nice and tall, hopefully, like this one here that's a bit more mature. I have it right now on just a bamboo stake. I do plan on putting it in an actual moss pole, but this is the latest leaf that it just opened up. The stem of that leaf comes out so red, and the leaf itself has some hues of burgundy in it too. So it's just a beautiful philodendron, vining philodendron. It does also have some aerial roots, which, you know, in its natural environment, it would be growing up trees, and those aerial roots would be attaching itself to those trees. So I think I better get a moss pole on this one sooner than later. My most recent addition to my philodendron collection is this Philodendron BIRKIN, and it's really a beautiful plant. I mean, all of the hype about it, I think, is well deserved, because I just love the variegation, the stripes that it comes out with on the new leaves. And as the leaf gets older, those kind of fade away and it turns to a darker green. So again, it has a really beautiful life cycle to it. The newest leaf that it came out with is actually half and half. It has half variegation and half more of just the green, but it's already pushing out another brand new leaf. So this is a very fast grower for a philodendron, which I'm happy about, because some of them can be a little bit of a slow grower. Now, one that is not a slow grower is this Philodendron MICANS, and you've probably have seen this one on my channel before, but I just love this little guy. She is just taking off up this moss pole. I've had to kind of reposition her on the moss pole to wind her around a little bit more, because she was just growing up so quickly. And the hues and the iridescence on these leaves is really just incredible. It makes you want to touch them all the time. You know, although I'm not really a leaf petter, I think I could become one with this particular plant, because it's just the leaves on it have such iridescence and different coloring on them that you want to touch them. Again, it is a very fast grower. It's giving off a lot of new growth up top, and even down at the bottom I noticed that it had a new little leaf popping out there. So, and you notice the red tinge in the back of the leaves too. So front and back, it is all around a beautiful plant. Now, along with the good, there is the bad. This is my Philodendron BIPENNIFOLIUM, or horse's head, I believe it's also called. I've been struggling with cutting this leaf here for a while. I finally got the roots good and I planted it up, and then the top part starts doing this, where it starts getting crunchy and bits of it are not looking good. I have it near the humidifier, but I think I'm going to have to put it in some type of a mini greenhouse or something, terrarium, to give it more of the humidity that it needs, because I really don't want to lose this cutting. Again, it was sent to me by someone and I just don't want to lose it. I don't think that it's sick, that it has something. I could be wrong. Let me know down in the comments below, friends, and see what you think of this poor little guy. Outside, I've had some heat and sun damage to my Philodendron lickety split. It has been intensely hot out on the patio. I moved it all the way back away from the sun, but when it's 115, even just the heat of the air burns the leaves. I'm making some room to move it inside, and hopefully that I can save it. It has looked this bad before and popped back and recovered, so I don't think it will die, but I don't like it looking this way. Although the Tradescantia Purple Heart is loving it, it's looking great. I do plan on moving this guy inside so I can save this Philodendron lickety split, because it is a beautiful plant. Philodendron is such a wonderful genus of plants, great for beginners and so satisfying. I mean, you have your vining ones, trailing ones, bushy ones, and all sorts of colors. So I would definitely recommend it for a beginner plant parent. And if you want another variety that's wonderful to take care of, I've got a video here I'm going to show on the screen now of my Sansevieria collection. That is another wonderful collection for plant parents. Thanks so much, friends. I hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate you so much. Have a blessed day, and I will see you in the next one.